Hello everybody, it is Narrative Tarot. I'm here with your Venus April 2021 tarot reading. My name is Narrative Tarot. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel. I do monthly planner readings. These readings are for people who have some knowledge of their natal chart and have significant Venus aspects or transits or significant Taurus Libra transits aspects. So comment, like, subscribe. I also do full and new moon readings, book reviews, things like that, but these are the monthly readings that I do. So Taurus season kicks off in April, so it's going to be a great thing for you guys who have this Venusian energy. You may just have a lot of aspects. If you notice the cover picture for your reading and all of the readings this month, it's going to be prisons or jails. I feel like even though this is a very illuminating astrological year, because we started over a new astrological year with the start of Aries, I feel like there's some sort of restriction with every sign, some sort of restriction or some sort of restriction that's being overcome. And so that's why the picture looks like that. Okay, so there's two parts to this reading. This is the first part. For this, I'm using the Cosmic Tarot. And so this is the upper worlds, lower worlds reading. This entire spread could be one reading in and of itself, but each pair generally comes across as its own reading, so that's how I generally read it. So we have Eight of Wands and the Magician. So don't bend over backwards for the promise of a reward for someone, from someone, or don't do this to someone. Don't promise a reward that you're not going to deliver on. Don't promise a reward that you're going to half-ass give, and make sure that when you give it, that it's not begrudgingly. Like, if you set a task for someone and they complete it, don't try to shortchange them by making up some like stipulations that kind of nullifies the agreement that you have with them. That actually comes off quite, it rubs people the wrong way, and it makes you look like someone who isn't worth dealing with in the future, because you come off as untrustworthy, penny pinching, and generally just someone who wants free shit, or someone who wants people to do work for them and is quite lazy, unwilling to work with people, unwilling to not necessarily compromise, but see the work that the other person has put in. So I feel like this is something particularly being done for you. Don't try to manipulate the situation to where you get discounts. So this is probably something where you're working with someone who is a contract. Don't work on the contract and then BS. If you don't like something, speak up front. Don't let it reside in the back of your mind. And at the end of the entire thing, then you try to do the discounts and all of this stuff and the itemized lists, and because it comes off as passive aggressive. And if this happens to you, then, and you have all your legal stuff in order, then definitely fight it, move forward with it, and then make sure that you let other people know, hey, maybe not, maybe don't deal with this person, don't deal with them. Even if there's someone who's quite good with the Magician, good in their industry, just make sure that like this is a person that's horrible when it comes to keeping their word, keeping their honor. They took money, they took product, they took samples, they took whatever. They lied about it. You know, this could be people writing bad reviews about stuff just to write them, just to fuck with you, mess with you. So this is very business oriented, very interrelational on a business sense, not necessarily personally. But with this Eight of Wands, it's sticking it out. Do things in order, do things right, send all the stuff when you need to send it. Don't procrastinate on things like that, because people will use that with this Magician, I just feel like, as an excuse not to pay or not to give it their all or to half-ass or cheat you or something like that. Or even with the Magician, they might try to, I was going to say offshore, but they might try to delegate it or relegate it to someone else or outsource it to a third party, something like that. Just be very wary of those sorts of connections. And so they may be coming to you as the Magician with a bunch of resources, but just check the resources that they have, check the reviews. I don't know if you can do this, but if you can test the analytics of their website, or if you can check out software that reveals what reviews are fake or bought or something like that, then go ahead and do that, because that will give you a heads up as to what kind of person they are, what kind of person they're dealing with. I mean, you're dealing with. Because this person is quite established in their field. They're quite, this is what it is, rock solid, like that stare. I think that this person doesn't really get messed with that much. They mess with other people, and that's their stance. I mess with other people. People don't mess with me. People come to me, I don't go to them. And I have this rock hard stance that people either get with or they don't. And so with you, you just need to make sure that you're assessing the relationship that you have with this person. It seems very business oriented. And making sure that you have everything in order just in case things do go left and you need to just think about it, you know. But definitely record progress and record your experiences, and make sure that you utilize everything that you have as far as feedback so that you can move forward. If it's a relationship, opening up and telling people what it is, making sure you have boundaries, making sure that you're speaking up, making sure that people aren't manipulating you, you're taking ownership, you're taking direction and responsibility, developing your ability with the Magician to see people for who they are and what they do, why they do it, and what role that they play in your life through relationships, whether it be at a job, whether it be with your own business, whether it be in romantic, familial, platonic, it doesn't really matter. Just making sure that you understand and have that higher wisdom and higher knowledge about how all of this comes together, and taking inventory and stock of things. So upper world, we have Two of Pentacles, and then lower world, we have the Hanged Man. It's almost like there's an element of the Hanged Man and the Two of Pentacles in that he seems like he slips or something, and then he ends up like this, but he ends up like that on the ground. Like, it's almost like if we were following him with a camera and then he slipped it'll make it look like he's doing the hanged man motion of like flipping upside down, but when you look at it, it's a trick of the camera. And his foot could be by this little branch back there, and so when they pan to it, it looks like this, but it's actually the sand. So be wary or be vigilant for things looking like something similar but not being something similar due to circumstances, or getting tripped up in circumstances that look similar to other things that you've been tripped up on. Being cautious is helpful. Being cautious is going to make sure, if you're, because he's barefoot, you get really grounded. So we have a very kind of a sign that what the hangman represents, like Piscean, Neptunian energy, which can be quite ungrounded. And so the Two of Pentacles is for you to get grounded and understand the environment in a very lived way, in a very felt way, experienced way, without boundaries. The boundary being like a shoe. And so that shoe can also be the convention, or the safety of the known that keeps you from possibly sinking into the earth with the Two of Pentacles, or tripping. It's like the soul, the shoeless foot is kind of I'm saying it here, is very complicated for people to understand. It's very unsettling for people to understand. I don't know why people would be very unsettled for your feet being bare at the beach or something like that, but I think this idea of being naked and raw, not necessarily like naked as in nudity, but like naked as in vulnerable, as in open, as in alive, with dimension and depth, and a willingness to go through human emotion, that scares people. And so the hanged man is the suspension of that, maybe due to fear, but the suspension of that to come to a place that you need to figure that all out. It's like it has to come to a place, it has to, it has to figure itself out. It's almost like with the Two of Pentacles, he's walking, he slips and he falls, and he ends up in this state, or he ends up falling into this dream world. And this is where he stays to deal with this issue of being not footless, being shoeless, and dealing with what being shoeless means. Like I said before. Or he goes into some sort of, because I feel like he ventures away from his known world into a space where he meets this person, this kind of person that's kind of just there, isn't someone who is exactly like him, it isn't the same, and yet this person provides something that they need or want or desire. For this person, their enlightenment comes through the head. For this person, the enlightenment comes through the feet. And the foot here has to do work. Up here, the head has to do work. And so for you in April, the feet have to do work because you have to move, even though, it's Aries season, and then it transitions to Taurus season, which is a little slower. You have to walk and you have to move forward. I think this may be an MO of how you once operated, and it's not the same. It's not the same. It doesn't work the same. And the information that you gain from this, it's not that it's opposite of you and that you have to decipher it. It's that it's opposite but not useful. Sometimes people come into your life and they're opposite, or they mirror, or they do something like that, and it seems so different that you learn. But I think this is very dissimilar, and you don't need that information. You need like experiences. You need experiences you can touch and stuff like that. You don't need this perspective anymore, or at least right now in April. And so you need to be stable in this way, looking at the world in this way, not this way. Because it has nothing to do with changing your perspective. It has everything to do with actually having a perspective to begin with. This is maybe too advanced or too devolving for you, whichever one it is. This person, even though they're hanging upside down and they've acted on their journey by hanging themselves upside down, it's the tree that's giving them knowledge. They're not really doing anything. It's the tree that's giving them knowledge. But I think for this one with the hangman, it takes a really long time to get there, because I'm looking at the snake too, and any moment the snake will zap him or jut out and he'll have to have a reaction. This one, if a snake was around, he would be quite in danger and wouldn't notice it. It's like if you stay in this position, the world conspires against you as opposed to helping you. But I think being shoeless, how we're defining this, is going to be helpful. But shoeless is being open and honest and vulnerable and willing to learn and experience and fail and go through emotions and all of that stuff to gain the knowledge and wisdom necessary to move forward, as opposed to putting yourself in stasis to have it diffuse into you. Because it's not the right season for that. Like, it's not Pisces season, you know, it's Aries season / Taurus season. Maybe this will work in another season, you know, but it's not working now. Let's see, anything else? No. I'm gonna go to this one. So that was the first part of the reading, and then here's the second. Oh God, no. Good heavens. Okay. Well then. Oh God. I'm gonna do a short one. A short helix. Oh. Oh, for this deck I'm using Tattoo Tarot, Ink and Intuition. There's another Tattoo Tarot, but that's the one I'm using, and the Carolyn Myers or Miss archetype cards. Okay. Just one. Again. I don't know if people devolve in this situation, but it might feel like it. So we have 8 of Cups. So the way that this works is that it's kind of like a helix. So this person ends up becoming this person ends up becoming this, and this is kind of like an energy or an event or something like that that they not necessarily share, but that kind of brings them both to a crossroads, and then they go on interpreting this energy on their own and what they evolve into. So this person evolves into this, person evolves into that. Now we have the 8 of Cups with the Child Magical, the King of Cups with the Student reversed. And so I don't really know if the King of Cups is a master at what he does. I don't know. And so it says the shadow attribute of this is arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. So this person might be a King of Cups in that they're highly evolved with what they want to do, but they're very devolved or not evolved or stuck with where they want to go. This one is Child Magical, which is seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. And then they go to the Slave over here. So I feel like this 8 of Cups is kind of like, it's almost like the 8 of Cups person has more experience than the King of Cups, just because the Student is in reverse. So this 8 of Cups person may have seen it all, been through it all, whatever, and they understand the world from many perspectives, I guess. It almost seems like this person has drunk from many cups, but like the experience of how they got the cups meant that they were very different people for each cup that they've had. And so they've literally been magical every chance they've gotten. It's like they shape shifted into a different form. It could be like they evolved, like Pokemon, where you start out as one form and then you evolve and evolve and evolve, and you have this like mega form that you have that's the most evolved or whatever. Like that's how it plays out. Like they were very devolved. Well, they were who they were evolving, then they may have devolved, then they may have evolved and devolved, and they went through that whole cycle. But each process on the overall scale or the overall timeline of their life, they have been evolving, even if it consists of devolving for a moment with non-properly integrated lessons. Like even that is you evolving, especially if you learn that it was a de-evolution, I guess. And so this person has all of that. This person doesn't have that. I think that they have a really powerful mind in that they can project into the cup. It's not that this person has less baggage. It's just that they can project into one cup what their experiences are. Like when I look at this teardrop, it's like their tears. Not because they're emotional in their cups, but their tears can change. It's almost like this person had to actively seek out the experiences by going out, and this person had to mentally project themselves into experiences to feel. And so this is very worldly. This is not very worldly. I don't know if this person is arrogant or unwilling, but it seems like they're less, I don't want to say evolved now from what I'm getting. They're just less involved, I guess, in extra ways. It's almost like the reason why they're the King of Cups is because they don't need the extra stuff. So it's not like this person is a minimalist or anything like that, but it's like the process of evolution is minimal. It's almost like they don't need to be around a lot of people to evolve. They need to just evolve. It's like they can filter. It's like whatever energy they get or they feel, it goes in their mind and ruminates, and then the process of crying creates this cup that has different experiences and different tastes. So it's like this person is tasting the world through themselves and themselves only, but they're experiencing the world, versus this person has had to interact with other people that have filled cups with them, or they've gone to cups that were pre-filled with like fated events, and then that's how this works. This is strange. Weird. Okay. So this might be a two-parter, depending on how well I can explain the rest. So there's an event of Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords could be a detoxification of the mind. It could be an event that these people may not know each other, but you can pick whichever one you are, or if there's a relationship involved, whichever one. But it may just be like an event that detoxes the mind, that splits the human energetically open. Like they're doing a what is that process that you do when you like go to the morgue and they like check your internal, like that, but a spiritual sense, spiritual, emotional, mental sense, and it clears this out. It's not like they leave these behind, but they transmute it into better ways that'll serve them in the future, I guess, and maybe ways that are more relatable to each other should they have to meet. And so this person with the Eight of Cups simplifies themselves down to the Three of Cups, and this person doesn't simplify himself, but actually allows themselves to be active now and in something, or allows action to show up outside of themselves in a very physical way, not just a felt energetic way. You have the damsel for this person. Understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself, which is what they've been doing, but this process may have outside people not project to them whether they're right or wrong, but to give them, I don't know, feedback on how powerful they are, how good they are, how talented they are. They may need encouragement, I don't know, but it seems like that's something that's going on. And then this person simplifies themselves. They grow up just a bit. It's not like they were immature, but they grow up a little bit more to where they have the capabilities that this person has. And this person is now willing, kind of, I guess maybe that's the unwillingness, to go and seek out physical experiences, but knows that because they've done this, they're able to do this as well. Like this is their backup default person. Default way of being. And it's the backup should anything go wrong with this. And this person kind of sees a little bit more of, not the deception of doing this, but maybe how much time they wasted in doing this Eight of Cups as opposed to this Ace of Cups, and holding it like this person. They may see that the way that they did it is a waste of energy for them, particularly where they ended up may show them that it was a waste of energy, or that's how they perceive it, versus this person, if they're interacting with someone like this, they may see the benefit of not necessarily bearing the load all themselves, or bearing the load all at one time, filtering it out, picking one wand at a time, or using it to triangulate and make shapes and protective boundaries and stuff like that around them that would filter this out better. And so this person ends up with the slave, which is surrendering your God, your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. It's not that they didn't trust it here, but I feel like they had to go through a long, arduous task that may have tested their strength and tested their will and tested their willingness. Versus here, it simplifies it. So this person may be simplifying a lot of stuff. This person is simplifying it, but simplifying it as in delegating. This is simplifying as in minimizing within themselves or themselves. So this is a great reading. So this is what I have for you for April 2021 for Venus signs. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you gained something from it. Once again, comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.